just finished reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling, and this is a reread for me. I first read this series about 2 years ago for the first time. I didn't grow up being a big Harry Potter fan or anything. I only saw the movies for the first time about 5 years ago. But even still, going through the series for the first time as an adult, it feels so nostalgic and warm and just happy. And I love this series. There's amazing found family in it, and the magic is just so fun and magical, really. I would say the first book is definitely more on the young aspect of young adult, but it is still so fun to read and perfect for the fall time. Out of the nostalgic factors, want to give it a 4.5 stars, but it's probably more like a 4-star read. The other book that I've been reading is Leather and Lark by Brynne Weaver, and I really enjoyed the first book in this series. I believe I gave that either a 4 or 4.25 stars. The characters in that book were likable, they had great banter, and I just feel like I really connected to those characters, and they had a fun serial killing aspect to the book that I didn't feel as though it was too dark. But in this one, I just find myself not really caring. I have 60-ish pages left, and even with that little left to go, I'm not sure if I'm going to finish it. It's not a bad book at all. I don't know. I feel like I can't even tell you what has happened in this book. As I said, don't feel connected to the characters. I don't necessarily root for the relationship. Not, again, that there's anything wrong with it. There's just something about it that's not really clicking for me. There's one more book in this trilogy, the Room is Love trilogy, and it kind of kills me to mostly read 2 out of the 3 books and not go for the third. But if I'm not enjoying this one, then I just don't think picking up another one's worth it. I feel like there are plenty of other books that I'd rather get to beforehand. But who knows, maybe next fall I will, because I read the first one last year, actually, because I feel like it's the perfect September transitioning to Halloween and scary things read. It is October, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not fully saying I'm DNFing it yet, but I also just don't feel like picking it up. Anyway, my next read, I believe, is going to be Wild Dark Shore. I picked this up last week, and I've been hearing really good things about it. I believe it is about a family who lives off the coast of Alaska, and I think it's pretty much just them who lives where they do, but one day a woman shows up. I believe that's what this book is about. I honestly really enjoy going into books pretty blind, because then at that point, almost everything is a surprise, which I think is a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. I think it's perfect for this time of year and just what I'm feeling at the moment. I have been reading Wild Dark Shore for the past little bit now. I did decide to put down, not Butcher and Blackbird, Leather and Lark, which I realized I did not actually really give you a summary of that. That is a romance between serial killers, different type of murderers, not necessarily a serial killer. That's what that whole trilogy is about, really. And yeah, just kind of a dark romance. This one was a marriage of convenience, and yes, I did decide to put that one down. I didn't finish it. I rather would have started this, which I did, and I'm about 50 pages into this, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I really am enjoying this author's writing style. He writes sentences that are just very gripping, and at least in the very beginning kind of have like a, oh wow, makes you like take a step back factor to them, and the way that the island is described is just done very well. It's definitely given this eerie, isolated vibe, but at the same time you can tell that this family, for the most part, really finds this place to be homey. And so you discover in the first little bit that what this island is, the closest other mainland is Antarctica, as I had mentioned, but they're actually still 1,500 kilometers away from there. And what this island is for seed farming or a seed lab. I forget what exactly it's called, but essentially in case too many species go extinct, they have seeds as backups ready to go. That's what this island is there for, and that's what him and his family are there for. And you discover that the rest of the team that used to be there for research or for whatever else, they have all left because this island is slowly becoming inhabitable, and they as well will be leaving in the next 7 weeks, I believe. So when this woman washes up on shore, they are both wary of each other because this family knows that you're not just randomly washing up onto this island. It is very isolated, clearly, as I mentioned multiple times. So when she says that, nope, I wasn't aiming for this island, the family and the father, Dominic, are definitely a bit weary of her. And she is wary of them because they haven't called for anyone to come get her. So you can already see where the mystery is coming in. It's definitely written more as a fiction book with this thrilling, mysterious aspect to it. I'm really enjoying the characters as well so far. The youngest son, Orly, I think is hilarious. He's only 9 years old, but he's very smart and just loves talking about these seeds. So he's been really funny so far. And I've really been enjoying this. I look forward to continuing and updating you on my thoughts. So it is now the next day, and I wanted to give a little update on Wild Dark Shore. I am now on page 114, and I am really enjoying this book. I am so far seeing this as a potential 5-star read for me. The way this author describes settings, I know I've said it before, but it is just incredible. And I'm not typically someone who gets super attached to flowery writing. I do like a little bit, but nothing over the top. But this is just, it really is making me feel something. And just, there's a part in this where the woman who washes up on shore, you are learning a little bit about how her and her husband met. And he pretty much just immediately describes this scene to her in her backyard of a vision of all these different wildflowers. And she says, he has barely remembered to breathe. He is so excited. And as he smiles at me with the delight of this, with the plants he has imagined and brought to life around him, I start to see what he sees. Not the plants specifically. I have no idea what any of those names mean, but I see the hill we stand on covered in color. He has painted it for me. I walk over to the caravan and flick on the kettle for a cuppa. So at that point, she decides to have a cup of tea with him and get to know him more. That's their very first meeting, and that it just really paints a picture without the character themselves even having that setting yet, if that makes sense. I continue to stand by my feelings towards the way this author describes homes and settings. It just, she almost personifies them in a way, and you can feel the grief these characters feel for either losing their home or preparing to leave their home, and just the love that they have for it. I am very curious about if we will get any of their departure, if they will leave the land that they are on in this book or not, because all of these, this family has been there for the past 8 years. And the oldest son, I would say, is no more than 19 or 20 years old. So even he himself has been on this remote land since he was 11 years old. And the youngest is only 9. So I assume he was either born right before they went or even on this piece of land. And the way this is described too, again, there's so much wildlife and just natural beauty around them. And that is just what these kids are used to and what they grew up around. And so I'm very curious if we will get them going back to the regular United States. The other thing about them going back to the mainland is this book is set a bit in the future, where climate change has really started to affect the world more with droughts and fires and storms and just different things of that nature. And they haven't really been affected as much on this piece of land that they're on. The only problem clearly is the rising sea level, which is why they need to leave. But they're not really aware of all of the damage that has been going on the mainland. And so that is definitely going to be another big wake-up call if we do get to see that. Again, I'm not sure where exactly this book is going to take us. The other thing that I've really been enjoying is the pacing of this book. You are definitely getting bits and pieces of information throughout the entire story, but at the same time, what you're getting is still leaving you wanting more, still leaving you with questions, and still just keeping you gripped and entertained. I don't want to put this book down. I am so excited to keep reading it. I will give you an update. I think a little under 40% of the way. This book isn't, I think it's just shy of 300 pages. So hopefully can get through it. I don't want to rush it either. I do want to just really enjoy my time with this book. The writing, as I have raved about already, is just so beautiful and good. And I'm, again, excited to continue. I will update you on my thoughts when I can. There was actually another line I wanted to read for you really quick. This one actually doesn't have to do with the setting. I just thought that it was a really nice way of saying something. There is a nakedness in this room, and within it, she seems to take me at my word in a way she didn't earlier. So as I said, there's a lot of just not a lot of trust going on between these characters, not necessarily within the family too much, but with this woman who washed up on shore and the father of this family. And that was from his point of view, where at this point, like, it's just a beautiful way of saying she's telling me the truth, like, we're in an open space right now. So I just wanted to point that out as well. So it's now the next night, and I have not updated you since last night, but I have been pretty busy today with getting stuff done around the apartment, work, so I only recently picked this up for the day, and I've read probably about 30 pages today. I'm on page 235, so there's not too much left. I'm probably hoping to finish this book today, and there's not too much to say. I don't want to spoil anything at this point, but I'm still really, really enjoying it. You're definitely seeing character growth in this book, and just a lot of different family dynamics, if that's something that you're into. And just to how working towards a common goal can bring people together. Those are all themes going on that I've been noticing. There are definitely a lot of family dynamics going on in this book, and a lot of character growth, and also just how working toward a common goal can really bring people together. So I'm really excited to see how this finishes off. I feel like there was a bit of, as I had said, a mystery that was going on in the beginning that we've kind of lost interest in at the moment, but I feel like that might be on purpose. I'm hoping it comes back around. Otherwise, we definitely just skimmed over something that was pretty big and the main purpose almost of our woman who washed up on shore. So we'll see if we get back around to that. Like I said, I'm hoping to finish this book tonight, so we'll see, and I will update you guys later.
just finished Wild Dark Shore, and it was really good. And it has me crying. You've heard my thoughts throughout the whole book, but it's just such a story about love and family and grief, and it was very beautiful. And I've said that before, but it was, and that was 5 stars.
Good morning again, everyone. I obviously did not film any reading last night, but I did briefly start the Book of Doors. I'm on page 35, and I'm so far really enjoying this one. Again, so far, perfect for book lovers. Some of the descriptions and just book quotes already are so cute, so just heartwarming as a book lover. I don't have the book with me right now, but I do want to point a few things out later. Again, only 35 pages in, and I've already noted multiple places where I want to talk to you guys about stuff. So it's looking good so far. I look forward to reading more and hopefully filming more. Things have been a little crazy, but yeah. Good morning, everyone. Last night I finally finished the Book of Doors by, I believe, Gareth Brown. I do not have the book on me right now in the hot tub, but I did not give you many updates throughout this book. I overall very much enjoyed this book. It took me a little bit longer to get through, but I don't think that was due to the book at all. It was my boyfriend and I's anniversary, and we went away for the weekend. And the weekend is when I get most and a lot of my reading done. So just, focusing on celebrating took me a little longer than usual. But if I did not explain, this book is about the main character, whose name I've already forgotten. Her name's not coming to me right now, but we follow our main character, who is working at a bookstore, and one day this old man comes in, and unfortunately he dies while she's working, and he has this book in his hands that on the inside is addressed to go to her, and she learns that this is called the Book of Doors. And she initially gets this book, she looks inside, there's one page that has a little bit of writing on it explaining that it's the Book of Doors, but otherwise it's blank, and she is just sort of like, what is this book? Why did this man, who I don't know very well, leave this book to me? And she discovers that this book, if you can imagine another door anywhere else in the world, and then you open the door that you are nearby, that will lead you to that other location. So cool. Her and her best friend Izzy spend the night exploring this, and they go to Italy and France, and it's all very magical and so cool. But you discover that this is not the only book that is the book of something. There are many of these books. Some of them are not too good. There is the Book of Pain, there's the Book of Despair, and depending on who gets their hands on these books, catastrophic things can happen. And these books are so valuable. And you go through the journey of her discovering people are going to be coming after me for this book. And you discover something else about the book,
that brings a whole new aspect into it that I don't want to share. I think it would be a spoiler, but it is a really cool aspect that you discover about this book, and it takes the story from there. There are relationships developed. I will say there was some part of me that didn't feel fully connected to these characters, and I don't know why that is. I feel as though the one character I'm most connected to, we didn't get a ton of, but we did get more than I was expecting of this character. So, very exciting. I did overall really, really enjoy this book. It is cozy, it is magical, and there's a lot of action as well, which was a bit surprising. Overall, I ended up giving this book a 4 stars. I would totally recommend, and I'm very interested in seeing the other books that this author has purchased. So that's my review on the Book of Dwarfs. And that is going to conclude this reading vlog. I want to say thank you so much to everyone who has watched this video, and I really look forward to sharing more book content and vlogs and thoughts on books with you guys, and I hope to see you again next time.